What's going on, guys? This is Miasin, and today we'll be looking at the results from a few OCG tournaments, but it's not really an OCG metagame breakdown, it's not really an article, just a bunch of deck lists in order to try to understand how the new cards are really changing the metagame completely, because the KASHTIRA cards really are that good. I mean, they're so good that some people are even dropping the ISHIZU cards from their TEARLAMENTS deck completely because the KASHTIRA cards are like one card, rank 7s, and do a lot, whereas the ISHIZU cards, sometimes they can be bricks, because Caldo is now at 1, and a Herald of Orange Light is like way less good than it used to be. That's what happens when the best cards from a splashable engine become kind of all nerfed, and you can only really play like the bad ones at 3. Anyways, before this video starts, make sure you like and subscribe. You already know it. Check me out on Twitch and Instagram, and now let's jump right into it. Alright, so this is the Asia Campus League from Philippines. Shoutouts to Elvis Agoto Jr. Feel like I've seen this name before. One with ISHIZU KASHTIRA TEARLAMENTS, very nice, and the 4th place is the only non-KASHTIRA, well, not really, because this is like pure KASHTIRA, but 2 ISHIZU KASHTIRA TEARLAMENTS and then pure KASHTIRA, and Tenyi Sword Soul is the most interesting one here, by Kenneth Mercader. Oh, sorry if I'm butchering the name. But yeah, so this first place deck list, nothing really interesting outside of the fact that it's on triple Solic and the one meta noise, which I finally understand why people play. It's because when your opponent special summons a KASHTIRA monster and you Book of Moon it, they're pretty screwed. Like, they can't really extend by going, you know, try to, well, use the effect of the KASHTIRA, obviously, but they have a monster on the field that's blocking them, so they can't special summon another KASHTIRA monster from their hand for free. So this card is absolutely insane. Anything that is like a Book of Moon-esque effect is actually absurd against KASHTIRA. It's really just too good. Anyways, triple Tactic Talents in the main deck is also very interesting because nobody's playing Wallow, and that's the reason why I didn't want to play TTT at the YCS, because if you mill it, your opponent can go Wallow to take your triple tactics. But as you can clearly see, even though TEARLAMENTS is the best deck, not a single soul is main decking Bestials, and most people are also not siding Bestials. So the OCG meta is completely different from the TCG meta. They're also not even playing Baguska anymore, and they're all playing Borload or some other Link 4s that can do stuff. And Asa is a staple there, whereas in the TCG, nobody is playing Asa whatsoever. So Asa can revive back your opponent's Fenrir, which is insane, and you can crash the Asa to search Max C. So that's a really good reason to play this card, right? And again, if you're wondering why are they playing 2 Kid Kalos and 2 Kaleido Heart, it's because if your opponent goes Diabolos the Mind Hacker, they look at your extra deck and they make you lose your best one of, and you don't want to lose your one and only Kaleido Heart or your one and only Kid Kalos. So if you play 2, at least they can't screw you over completely by that. So yeah, very logical deck list. I obviously understand everything about it just by looking at it. Even the Foolish Burial Goods, being able to send a Solic, great card. It's basically a reinforcement of the army that can search like anything. And you can even search TEARLAMENTS KASHTIRA when you send a Solic, which is a KASHTIRA card, by the way. And a TEARLAMENTS card that you can search with the Prime Planet Paraiso, so that's the name. But anyways, I forgot what the name of this Link monster is. Looks like a for hire monster, but I don't know. I'm really stupid. I really have no idea. And the side deck, 2 more Mudoras, which is very interesting. Triple Book of Eclipse, which is insane against the KASHTIRA deck. If they have, like, you know, the Shangri-La and a bunch of KASHTIRA monsters, you just go Book of Eclipse. And then you get back your zones, and they basically have 0 interruptions on the field, which is absolutely free. And then Combat the Grave in the side deck. This card could actually go back into the main deck again, I'm not sure. Now, this might actually be the first OCG player to ever play Super Poly, at least that I know of, because they don't have Garura. So Super Poly for them is way worse than it is for us. And I really do find it interesting because every time I Super Poly, I'm pretty much always making Garura. It's like the best Super Poly target now. But this one is only on Muddragon of the Swamp and I guess Dragos Tapelia, but does that really count? Because KASHTIRA definitely doesn't end on any monsters that are super polyable. All their monsters are different attributes. And then the Heartbeats, even though they don't have Mystic Mine, again, very interesting. And the Crime is no longer in the main deck, it is now always in the side deck, and Triple evenly in the side deck as well. Now, the other deck lists are a little, well, they're all kind of similar. This one is on 1 Magnamut and then 1 Drake something, I forgot the name, but basically whenever your opponent summons like a Synchro Fusion Xyz or Link monster and you control another Light or Dark, you can tribute that Light or Dark and then banish that monster that your opponent summoned. And of course it's a Bestial, so it has the same effect as the other ones to like summon itself from the hand. And this is like one of the best cards. It might be better than Druid Worm sometimes, it really depends, but obviously in the TCG there might be a world in which people might play 12 Bestials. We never know, I don't think so, because Saronir is like so much worse than this card. So maybe people are gonna play like 9 Bestials with like 3 Magnamut of course, and then 3 of this, and then maybe 2 Druid Worm, 1 Saronir. I don't know the configuration, but people are always super creative. And by the way, the Ghost Mourner, don't even look at that. In the OCG, this card is much better because it is a quick effect, whereas in the TCG, it's a trigger effect. So you have to use it first, and then your opponent can use their trigger effects afterwards. Meaning that if your opponent summons, let's say, Chabrigate Shrig, the Ominous Omen on your own turn, you have to go Ghost Mourner, Chainlink 1, and then they go Shrig, Chainlink 2, so they banish your card, and then the Shrig gets negated when it no longer matters. But in the OCG, it's not like that. Your opponent has to use trigger effects first, and then you can use quick effects. So because quick effects are always activated after trigger effects, which means they resolve first. So, I know it's really complicated for someone who doesn't really know much about rulings, but yeah, trust me. And only one Kaleido Heart in this guy's extra deck, very interesting. Again, the same Link monsters outside of this one that I really don't know what it is. And then, yeah, Draco Sag, this card's also really cool. You can make the BLS Link with... No, sorry, I don't think that one involves the BLS Link. But you can make Zeus and then clear the BLS Link. So that's really cool because I know some people were playing that card before, and it definitely could catch a lot of people off guard. And I guess you can also go triple Tactic Talents to steal it, and then break your opponent board with it. That's really nasty. And then, yeah, Ghost Reaper in the side deck, blah, blah, blah. This one is pure Kashtira, very interesting. So this is, I think, the Scareclaw Kashtira. And apart from that, nothing too spicy outside of the Windbear statue. That is very unique. Forbidden Lance, never mind, this deck is hella spicy. Oh, wow. And then 2 Birth, Prosperity, blah, blah. Shangri-La, and... Rise Heart. Was there like a mistake in it or something in this deck list? Maybe you forgot to like write it correctly. I don't even know. Wow, the Dark Arm Dragon Xyz, very interesting. And then Diabloses, etc. Yeah, the rest is very standard though. Okay, there you go. The player made a decklist error of registering only 1 Shangri-La and 1 Rise Heart in the extra deck and had to continue with 13 cards in the extra deck. Shoutouts to Jesse Cotton, who played YCS Costa Rica with 13 cards in his side deck, by the way. There is like 1 card that he forgot to write because he wrote 2 Twin Twisters twice. So yeah, I think it was like Bisto Ceronier, I forgot. Maybe it was Zombie World. Anyways, the 4th and final deck list, Kenneth Mercator. Again, sorry man, Tenyi Sword Soul. So, you know, the Tenyi and the Sword Soul cards are always very standard, but the utility cards are very unique. So 6 Bestial Monsters, 1 Druid Worm, and then 2 of the other one, the new one that is coming out in Photon Hypernova, Triple Magnamut, and then 3 Enemy Controller and 3 Book of Eclipse. So Enemy Controller with Druid Worm is really disgusting. Like, you send a monster and you steal a monster. It's really cool. Book of Eclipse, of course, is just like always pretty good against like almost every deck that doesn't really end on like Link monsters, honestly. And there is no Veiler, so you can't really go normal summon Veiler with a Bestial, make Yazi, and then Unbreak from there, which I'm not sure how I really feel about that. Like, Veiler was really good for me when I played Bestials in Sword Soul. But yeah, overall, really fun and interesting deck. Again, that new Link 2 monster that you just don't know what it is. I really have to, like, look into it. And in the side deck, even more Bestials, 1 Gamma Seal, very interesting. I'd play, like, Gadarla instead, so that you can out the Windbear statue, but whatever. Double Cosmic, double Darkhold. I really like Darkhold. Shoutouts to this guy. And then triple D-Barrier. Very I actually lost the D-Barrier at Costa Rica, by the way. So yeah, don't sleep on this card. It's always going to be good. Always. But yeah, a very nice breakdown here. Well, not really, but kind of. And in the Thailand festival, this is going to be very interesting. 2 super spicy decks managed to top. And then the rest was, you know, Kashtira, TEARLAMENTS, Kashtira, ISHIZU, Kashtira. So most people are playing Kashtira cards. Literally almost every single one of them except only 2. So one was only ISHIZU tier and the other one was only like basically just hero actually. You know, Dark Law is absolutely no joke. So if your opponent loses every card, well, you know, when they would get they would go to the graveyard, they get banished. It's not too bad. So this one played the King of the Swamp version, but only 1 King of the Swamp and 1 Poly. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's super interesting, but only 1? I'd play like 2 King of the Swamp or 3. Because, you know, it's not bad, but the Grapha Fusion is insane, Guardian Chimera is insane. So yeah, this is the kind of deck list I would really have to like interview the guy to like understand his thought process, because I find this to be very interesting. And also Ash, yeah, okay, 1 talents, only 1. It's not searchable because he's not playing triple tactic tasking in the main deck, but he's citing only 1 copy, which is also very interesting. 0 Bestials in the main, but 3 in the side. No Druid Worm anymore, because this one's just kind of slightly better depending on the context. Sometimes Druid Worm is better. It really depends if you can like summon more monsters on turn 0, because then you can like mega interrupt your opponent, because Druid Worm doesn't really interrupt your opponent unless you have like, I don't know, like Nibiru plus Druid Worm, but then you're only really making your opponent lose the Nibiru token, which is not really good. And yeah, this guy is also very much aware of the existence of Diablosis, so he's on double Kid Kalos, double, what's his face, Kaleido Heart, and then the Arise Heart. Again, you can go triple tactics to steal your opponent's Kashtira, and then overlay your Arise Heart on top, because, well, if your opponent used the effect of Shangri-La that turn. So this is the reason why anything that steals monsters is broken. You know, Mind Control, TTT, all these cards are gaining so much in popularity that they're even seeing play in the main deck, as you can clearly see here. Mind Control, TTT, blah blah blah. That actually rhymed, he, not really, oh my god, I'm so dumb. But yeah, the side deck, whatever, who cares. And then for the pure Kashtira deck, this is very, somewhat similar to like what Flunderies kind of represents. So a deck that plays Shifter and just a bunch of good cards and hand shops or utility cards. Sacred Swords of the 7 stars is definitely not something that I like at all. I don't recommend it. I think Prosperity and Extravagance are better, especially Prosperity, but whatever, I guess it is what it is. Banishing cards is not too bad, because then you can go Birth, revive it back. Yeah, it doesn't suck, but it's not great either. And yeah, one of the Trap Searchers with 2 traps. Wow, very interesting. And then the Scareclaw again. I really have to like look at this card, because I don't know why everybody's playing it. One Pankratops that is very random, because going for, well, I guess no, it's good going second, and it's a level 7, so you can make like, you know, some nice plays with it. And then this build is a Ghost Reaper build, so two Reapers with a Kid Kalos, very insane, because people are not really main decking the crime, they're rather side decking it. So if you make your opponent banish the Kid Kalos, they can't recycle it back at all for the rest of the game. So I really like that. And yeah, the rest of the deck is not really spicy or anything, but this deck is like really good through Max C, because you don't have to special summon a lot. Like if you get because the Kashtira monsters are inherent summons, so if your opponent maxes you preemptively, you can only like summon one Fenrir, search a card, and then pass turn there with like hand shops, so you're gonna be chilling. And yeah, Maxi just doesn't have like the best value against this deck at all. The extra deck is not super relevant, so we're not really gonna be looking at that. Like, you can actually win a lot of games without your extra deck, so it's fine. It's not a combo deck, it's a mid-range deck. I really understood that as soon as I read the cards, and I realized that this deck was extremely good with Shifter, because you want your cards to get banished, as a matter of fact. This is better than getting them in the grave. And yeah, Windbearer statue again, very interesting to see. Wow. And then yeah, Mind Control, Book of Eclipse, blah blah, Pointer of the Red Lotus. They still have that card. Jesus, you poor them. Oh. Alright, this is very similar to like Team Samurai's name. So Chanapat R no, my god, P-Chart, sorry man, Kashtira TEARLAMENTS, so very spicy. Double Scream, blah blah blah, okay, yeah, I don't care. Oh, Underworld Goddess, actually, I do kind of care about that. Very interesting. And finally, Baguska, but no Dweller, what the heck? Yeah, that is interesting. And then Triple Tactic Tasking, sorry, which allows you to get any normal spell card, so you can search Duster, Mind Control, etc. That's the reason why normal spell cards are just so good right now. And normal trap cards, you can search Evenly. That's insane. Another reason why Evenly is in everyone's side deck. It's extremely good against Kashtira. They don't really make Omni Negates at all. So, you know, if you Evenly them, it's kind of GG, you know what I'm saying? Alright, finally a deck list that doesn't actually play any Kashtira cards. So Pisanu Omar to 1 with ISHIZU TEARLAMENTS, the most innovative and spicy and unique deck list so far. I wish I was joking, but I'm not, because it's actually funny how ISHIZU TEARLAMENTS went from being the most annoying, boring deck that everybody plays to the most unique deck that nobody plays, because now Kashtira TEARLAMENTS is the new ISHIZU TEARLAMENTS. It's so funny. But this is ironically very spicy. So 1 Kaldo, triple Kaldak, triple Mudora, 1 Agido, King of the Swamp with Poly. I love this combo. Oh my god, I'm gonna make a video on this, man. These two fusions are just too good. They really are. And I don't know what this trap card is, but yeah, pretty interesting. And nothing else to really look at. I mean, Lancia and Chaos Hunter are very interesting, but what are you really doing with these cards? Like, only against Kashtira, not really against TEARLAMENTS, I guess. It makes sense. You don't really need too much against Tyr, but kind of, I don't know. And then another Kashtira TEARLAMENTS, of course, yes. Another one of those deck lists that plays a Ghost Mourner that we will never see at all in the TCG, so yeah, keep on dreaming. And yeah, everybody's playing Meta Noise, by the way. Whether it's ISHIZU TEARLAMENTS or Kashtira TEARLAMENTS, everybody and their mother is playing that card. And again, Mind Control is so popular, man, and Book of Eclipse and Triple Tactic Tasking. We're seeing the exact same cards in everybody's side deck. It's ridiculous, man. Oh my god, and this new Lunk monster, like, please, someone tell me what this card is. I really need to, like, look into it. Anyways, the most interesting deck list, I guess, so far is Hero. So this is randomly playing, you know, 2 Magnamut and then 1 Druid Worm. So no Drake something, and no Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, which I think is a little sussy because the card's just insane. It makes Stratos plus any hero discard a 1.5 card DPE plus Dark Law, which is really game. And without that combo, I really don't see how this deck is consistently beating the TEARLAMENTS deck, because Dark Law is like the best card against it. And yeah, the side deck, whatever, who cares. And finally, we got Rika, which is another very interesting deck, and playing KASHTIRA cards because they're that good. They really are. So Prime Planet, and then Papillas, Birth, whatever, Small World, what the heck. 2 Con, Triple Glamour, 2 Sheet, what the heck is this trap card? I don't know. Okay, I know what this card is. This is Lone Fire. Holy shit, I forgot the name of this card. This is Petal, and then this is Princess. Princess again. Mudan, what the heck is this? And then this is a Snowdrop, I think. Dude, I literally don't know what the cards are, but I think I know their effects. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm really stupid, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.